everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jimmy, and in today's video we will talk about the official global rollout of Good Lock. Now, Good Lock was originally only available in particular regions, and it was only available inside of the Samsung Galaxy Store. Now, because I can find it on the Play Store, that tells me that it should be found everywhere and everything has been lifted off. So let me know in the comment section below, wherever you live, are you able to find Good Lock inside the Galaxy Store as well as the Google Play Store? Because, again, if I can see it right here in the Play Store, which it has never been before, that means that they finally officially rolled it out yesterday on April 14th, which is 100% on time of when it should have been released globally, since the rollout was starting on the 7th, the 10th, and then the 14th. So at this point, as long as everything should have gone smooth, a lot of countries should have Samsung One UI 7 right now, and that is why Good Lock is now available for anybody everywhere. Now, one thing I want to ensure is that you are getting the correct Good Lock. You can see here that this one is made by Samsung Electronics. You can see this logo and icon right there. That's what it's always has been. And you don't want to go after these other little copycats down here of something else that isn't Good Lock. So now that we got the most exciting part of this out of the way, which is now you can find it anywhere and everywhere, 100% should be global right now off the Play Store and the Galaxy Store. Now let's head over inside of Good Lock and exactly what it is, because a lot of you may be brand new to actually having the availability of Good Lock on your device. So here is the main menu right here. This is where you're able to take a look at all of the modules. So this one application is made by Samsung for Samsung, and it's a way for you to just completely customize your device, from your clock faces, from your entire home screen. You can even just change everything like a DIY home screen and move everything and overlap things, make them as big and small as you want to. I've actually covered this one pretty much to its full extent, and I'll be placing that video below this video inside the description. So if you want to see HomeUp with its full extent review, that will actually just be located below. I don't really feel like completely changing this device right now at this point in time. You can completely change your lock screen. You can also enhance your navigation bar. You can change your edge lighting. You have camera assistant, which gives you a lot more features inside of the camera. You have your display assistant. So this is where you can turn on like your screen curtain, or you can keep your screen on for 30 minutes, or how it interacts with it timing out. You have Theme Park if you would like to completely, make up your own theme. Wonderland, so you can create 3D motion wallpapers. You have Keys Cafe. This is one that you're able to fully customize your keyboard, but I feel like for me, I don't really enjoy changing the keyboard much, just because all the keyboards are very similar already. So if I switch between any of my devices, I know where everything is. And if I pick this one up and I fully customize it and I move some things around, it'll just get a little bit more complicated. Then you can also have NiceShot, which is a way that you can change the way that you can see your notifications history. You have Edge Touch, so you can adjust some of the settings for the touch on the edge of your screen. And if you tap any of these, you're able to read exactly what it does, and you can see screenshots of also what it does. So in this video, what I'll show you is how I have used Samsung Good Lock, even though I am kind of doing a high overview of what some of these are. You also have One Hand Operation Plus, so you can use your phone or tablet a little bit easier with just your thumb. This is where you're able to swipe on either the left side or the right side, and you can do it at different diagonals, and it'll do different things like going back or opening an application or taking a screenshot. So if you would like to really customize your phone with all of the touches on the edge, you can do that. So I could do something like this where if I swipe over, it can go back, or if I swipe it, it'll take a screenshot. And then you also have Routines Plus and then Multi-Star, so you can have improved multi-window. And really, the multi-window is already really good on the Samsung Galaxy devices as of late. So for me, I haven't really used that. Now over here, this is where you have the U page. So this is where you have set some things up. So now let me show you all of the things that I have changed functionally so it actually works on a daily basis. A lot of these are just up to you. This is your preferences if you would like to fully customize your device and make a whole bunch of different changes. But you got to remember, with me doing videos on YouTube, I can't fully change every single thing. And then I get questions all the time of, why is my keyboard like that? Where did I get that theme? Can you send me that wallpaper? So really, these are ones that you can fully customize your phone. But in terms of functionality, on what helps me on a day-to-day basis, these are the ones that I have done to my phone. So inside of Pentastic, this is where you can change the experience of your S Pen. Now for me, this right here, this is just the default air command of what would happen if you pulled the S Pen out or you tapped on your air command. But I have changed mine to this older version. There's just kind of a nostalgia reason. This is what we used years ago, and I kind of like the little circle. It doesn't take as much up of my screen. And if there's anything else I need, I just kind of spin it and then I can open it up and use it. So I changed the way that my air command is operating. I kept my pointer the same. This is the sound of what happens when you were to pull out the S Pen and then you insert the S Pen. So I pretty much have a remove sound of the Mario Brothers coin, and then also the insert sound of the Mario Brothers power up. And then on the very bottom, this is where you can change the double tap shortcut. That means if you were to press and hold on the button, you double tap the screen. Mine is set up for screen write. So this way, if there's something going on the screen and I want to make a little bit of notation on it or draw on it, it just allows me to do that simply just by pressing and holding on the S Pen button and then double tapping the screen. If you want to change it, you tap on it and then you're able to make it do whatever you want it to do for your double tap shortcut. So now that we have done Pentastic, now let's move over into LockStar. So LockStar, this is where you can fully customize your lock screen beyond what you were already able to do, which was already a lot. You are able to completely change the way that your clock looks. So as you go through here, you can change how you want your font to look. You can change the color. Here is your style. And some of these will come from ClockFace. So these little icons right there, that is from the module of ClockFace that is a part of GoodLock. And so when you get it downloaded, it already becomes a part of, editing your lock screen. So this is where you can move it around, make it bigger, make it smaller, however you would like with that clock. You also have the widgets from before, but with LockStar, what you can do is you can add in a few additional things. So I changed the color of my lock on the top. So if you want that to be white or black or red, pink, blue, whatever you would like, you can change it. I also added in my favorites bar over here. And when it comes down to this little favorites bar, this is where you can align it differently. So if you want it to be along the bottom, along the right side, or the left side, however you would like it to go, and you can move this around, move it up and down, and then this is where you can change your favorite applications. So this way you would have to just basically tap on one of these, unlock your phone, and then it goes to those applications. So I can keep these tools down over here on the bottom, which is my sound mode or vibrate or, mute, and then also the flashlight. Now down over here, this is LockStar. This is where you would have additional stuff. So you can add in app widgets. You can put in your favorite apps, which I did. You can put in some stickers, some help text. So if you want it to, say something, your name or whatever, or your little catchphrase, your lock screen timeout, and you also have the lock icon, which is up there. You can change the way it looks and the color. So you can have your screen lock or the lock screen timeout to be default, or you can even move it over into 2 minutes. If you take a look at your lock icon, you can change how you want it to look. If you want it to be more round, or if you kind of want it to look more of like a security lock, kind of like the secure folder icon kind of. This is the Samsung's original. And then you also have all these different colors along the bottom that you can change your little lock on the very top. So this right here was LockStar, if you would like to fully customize your lock screen as well. This right here is NavStar. So this one I just kind of use for the transparent hint. You can actually go through and you can change your arrows. So you can see that right now my arrow is white with kind of like a gray background. So if you want your arrow to be a different color, so let's say that we go with red. Now what'll happen is it's probably going to still keep that gray background, but it's going to turn the arrow red. So if you would like to change it, that's how you are able to. And then if you want to change the background, you just go right over here, you hit your background, and maybe you want to make it blue. We hit on done, and now you're going to have a blue background, red arrow. And you can also reset it. And there's a few additional sensitivities, gesture handles. All you really have to do is go through it and play with it. If you ever mess it up and you want it to go back to normal, on the very bottom, there should be a reset button right there. So that reset will just put it right back to where it was from before. And then if you do use your buttons, your navigation buttons on the bottom, this is where you can change how you want it to look. You can put in additionals, you can put in whatever images you want. I mean, there's so much that you can do with this one, but I am more of a gesture person than a button navigation on the bottom, but you can fully change how you want it to look. Now we'll take a look at HomeUp. I'm not going to go fully in depth on this just because there's so much that it could do. Right here you can change your home screen. So right here I have like loop pages on, background blur, different controls. There's like a DIY portion of it too. So if you do this DIY home screen, if I was to turn this on, my entire screen looks crazy. And I've done a full video on this that you can actually watch if you want something that's in depth. Here's your task changer. So this is where you can change the way your recent applications look. So you can put them as tilt, grid, vertical, slim. You also have mini mode if you want them to be a little bit smaller. I've used this for a little bit, but I do like the original one that comes with Samsung One UI 7. So I'm going to stay with the One UI 7 one. Here's the gesture settings. So if I turn this one on, I changed my home gesture animation tuning and the home gesture vibration. So as you go through and you play with this portion right there, you can change how your application bounces back to its spot. If you remember, if you swipe back, applications kind of move and swing or bounce into their spot. I made mine kind of go up like this and bounce into place. It's pretty cool. In the video that I will place below here in the description, you can see exactly what I did there. You also have stuff for your edge panel if you would like to make a few additional adjustments with it. And then you also have the share manager. So I do have backup and restore that is turned on. And that's just to, back up my home screens and back up anything that I have created from HomeUp. And moving on to ClockFace. So ClockFace, this is where you can either customize your own ClockFace or you can go with some of these that has already been created. All you'd really have to do is just tap on them and then you pretty much say yes, and then it'll be a part of your lock screen. So there's actually quite a few of them over here that you're able to choose from. And this is one that I've used years ago, and this was another one I used years ago, and this one as well too. So I'm glad to see that some of the old good ones are still here along with some brand new ones. Now, my clock just means that if you have created one, and this is one that I have created, and then you have Studio, and this is for your watch. So this is, creating a different clock face for your watch. Now, in this section here for my clock, this is where you go to that little plus button on the very top. And this is where you can fully customize your own. So you choose whatever, clock you would like to use. With the demo that I did here, at least that I've created, I used this clock right there. I went with that 812 there. And I also went in this fashion right there. So you can change how you want it to look. If you want it to be the 12-hour, 24-hour, the type, and then here's your colors. And then when you have pretty much your clock figured out, you hit the plus button and then you can add in more. So now I'm going to add in the date. And when it comes down to the date, I like the version that they put in there. I'm going to make mine bold. This is where I went through and I made it larger. And then what I did was I hit the plus button again, and then I hit on GIF. So you can add in like images or some text. You can do an analog one as well. And what I did was I chose this one, made them a little bit smaller, put them over in this corner so it wouldn't interfere with anything. And then when you're done, you hit on the save. But because I have already created this one, I'm going to discard it. And because mine is sitting right here. So if this is one that I want, I hit that little blue check mark. And then now that is going to be my lock screen. And then I hit on done. Now next on the list is QuickStar. And in QuickStar, this is where I changed some of the settings for like my quick settings. So as you can see, I have a lot of them sitting right here. These are the ones that I use on the daily basis. But the way that it comes out of Samsung stock is that it looks like this. It's like a 4x3. And because it's called quick settings, I'd rather have the access to all of them quickly. So I want them all right here. So if any point in time I want to use them, it's always there for me to view, for me to tap and use that quick setting. Now, next up, I also changed my clock settings. You can see here I have the date and the time. Normally it's only the time. And so for this one, this is where I showed the date, and you can change how you want the date to show. So that is how mine is set up. I also have the show seconds. So if you need to pull down one more time, if you are checking a pulse or doing a quick time of something, this is where you have the seconds hand, which is normally not there. And then also too, when you take a look at on the very bottom, this is where you can change and adjust the separated panel ratio. So because mine is separated, so notifications and quick settings, down here, this is where I changed where I want my swipes. So if I'm swiping, originally it used to be like this. That means I'd have to go over my indicators to pull it down to get to my quick settings, and then the rest was notification. So my dark blue is notification, the light blue is my quick settings. So I know if I pull down there, there's my quick settings. If I pull over here, that is my notifications. Next up, you also have the Edge Lighting Plus. I played with this one a little bit. I even had it to where it was like snowing or bouncing little icons and stuff. So you can go through and you can change how you want your edge lighting to happen. But I don't really play with it too much. It's not too functional for me, at least. One that's in here that is functional for NiceShot, inside of NiceShot will be this button right here, which is the delete button when you take a screenshot. So when you take a screenshot like this, originally this delete button is not there. And that image is now in your gallery, that you'd have to go to the gallery to actually delete it. So this add delete button right here is kind of a lifesaver if you take a lot of screenshots, because you can see it's not there. And when you turn this one on right there, it was. So this is a really nice functional one inside of NiceShot. For Camera Assistant, there's a lot of settings for camera. So I did actually add in more, not just the 100x, it's the 2x, 10x, and the 100x. Auto HDR, auto lens switching. You can play with a bunch of these if you would like. The timer for multi-photo options. So if you were to do, multiple images, you can have like, 3 pictures go, and in between each of those 3 pictures will be 1.5 seconds if you're doing like a timer thing. Scrolling on down, there's a few more that you can play with. I also have my camera timeout at 2 minutes, the auto dim after 2 minutes. So again, if I'm just hitting record and I walked away, or if I'm still holding it, if it's still recording after 2 minutes, it's going to save some of the battery life and just dim the screen. And that right there was for Camera Assistant. And then next is Registar. So this is where you can make a few little fun customizations. I believe I use this one for like a double tap of the back of my phone. So if you do a back tap action, that means like maybe if I was to do a double tap, it would take and share like a screenshot, and you can change whatever you want it to do. There's a lot of stuff. You can also just open up applications if you would like. So if you want to have settings where you tap on the back of your phone for it to do stuff, that's going to be the Registar. And I believe with this one, I mean, you can even change the way that your menu settings look. But again, I don't really want to make a bunch of changes there, because my phone would look different than everybody else's, and I get so many different questions. You also have like a side key press and hold action if you would like to change that. And then with this display assistant right here, there is an option inside here for screen curtain. Once you tap on this, you add it to your quick settings. It'll be like a screen curtain. So it just basically turns your screen black, but you're not getting out of the application. So if you're doing something and you know you're going to walk away, you'd be able to tap screen curtain. It goes black, and then you just have to swipe it or double tap it to get out of it. So then this way you're not losing where you're at. It stays exactly where it is, but your screen display is just, not on. And then you also have Sound Assistant. So Sound Assistant does a lot. This is actually where I changed it from the 10-step to this one right over here, which is 5. So that means that if I hit my volume down button, it's going to move by 10. And with the way that I had it from before, which was 5, it's going to move it by 5. Because sometimes when you get up to that 90, 95, 100% range, 100 is too high, 90 is not enough, but 95 is perfect. Or if you're laying in bed and you're watching something, you don't want to disturb the spouse, sometimes 0 obviously is nothing. 10, it could be a little loud, so 5 is perfect. So I just changed my volume step to 5 rather than 10. And then also this is where you can change how your volume looks. So if you notice mine looks a little different, it's because you can go through the different lighting effects and how you want the lighting effect to happen. You can have it as like acrylic or mesh for the texture. You can have it as the regular bar, or if you want it to be like a knob. And when you choose knob, it changes all the rest of the little images too. It's pretty funny. This is where you can change the shape if you want it to be fat and short, or thin and long, or however you like it. This is where you're able to change the shape. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do in GoodLock, which you can kind of see why a lot of people were mad that it was region locked, but now it should be 100% global, anywhere, everywhere, for everybody. Not just inside of the Samsung Galaxy Store, but also the Google Play Store. Now, there is a few more down here I didn't really cover. I've covered them in the past, but these are ones that are fun to just kind of customize with your phone and make it all fun. But when it comes down to the whole functionality of the device, making it work better, these are the ones that I was suggesting, at least, and that is why I wanted to show those off. And now you kind of know what you can do with a bunch of these things here. So for the ones that I didn't even talk about, now you know that you can just go through and play with it. Just remember, if you ever make any type of change and you're not really a big change, or not a big fan of that change, you want it to just go right on back, a lot of these will actually just have the little off button. So once you just hit on off, it's right back to stock. So you don't have to worry about it. Or all you'd have to do on the very bottom is hit on reset on some of these, and it puts it right back to where it was from before. So you're not going to mess up your phone. You're just going to customize it and put it to where you want it to be. But hopefully you guys have appreciated this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Subscribe on the very bottom left-hand side. And if you like this video, then more than likely you'll also like this video. And I'll see you guys later.